Why is my brother laying on the floor bloodless? Why didn't he survive the zombie apocalypse? Why me? Why of all people have I been chosen to be tested and injected with some foreign vaccine when I will wake up and find my whole family gone and destroyed? I don't know what is better, being dead or having the chance to live again.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Attention, there has been a breakout of zombies in many urban areas. I am reporting live from Miller Park, where zombies are running rampant throughout.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you may have heard, there's been an outbreak of the virus known as PLB squared. Tonight, we have with us Bettina Diedrich from the Center for Disease Control. So Tina, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Tina, what advice would you have for communities to avoid this virus?
Well, first of all, since it's an airborne virus, it's important to stay away from any dumps, rodents, or unsanitized areas. Also, wherever you go, carry your basic necessities such as food and water.
What would you recommend for an individual to avoid infection?
Most importantly, make sure to stay hygienic. Always wash your hands. Also, stay away from any infected areas. And if a family member is infected, you have to leave them behind because it's the only way to avoid infecting yourself. Also, stay away from any urban areas since they tend to be the most outbreaks of this virus.
Also, Tina, everyone's biggest fear is to get bitten by one of these zombies that's roaming the streets. What can you do if you're bitten? What can you do to stay safe?
Well, you have to stay calm and collected first of all, and also clean the wound to avoid the infection spreading throughout the body. Also, do your best to stay away from any family members so that they can stay safe even if you are unfortunately infected.
Alright, thank you for your announcement, Tina. Up next, we have an ER doctor who's fighting this virus from the front lines.
Attention, public service announcement. A zombie pandemic is spreading across the world. Certain precautions must take place to ensure your safety. This brochure is being handed out freely that include proper precautions and signs that the virus may be setting in. This includes coughing up excess blood, gaping cheeks, twitching, and upper body paralysis. In order to ensure your safety, make sure to keep hands clean to stop spread, avoid all infected humans and rodents, and avoid urban and populated areas. Any signs a loved one could be infected means evacuating facilities and unfortunately leaving the loved ones behind. We are currently trying to find a vaccine, but proper precautions are necessary to save humanity.
Welcome back to CNN. Right now, I have with me an ER doctor by the name of Elizabeth Garfinkel. Dr. Garfinkel, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
So, Dr. Garfinkel, what are the symptoms the public should look out for, and how do these symptoms progress?
Well, the first symptom that the public should start looking out for is the beginning stage of coughing. The coughing is alike to a typical cold symptom that one may experience, except in the PLB squared virus, the coughing leads to a coughing which becomes coughing up blood, and it's uncontrollable. Then that leads into the intermediate stage of uncontrollable twitching, and these violent shakes can last up to 20 minutes. Finally, the final stage is paralysis of the upper arms, and that is caused by macrophages eating out the nervous system.
Alright, sounds quite terrible actually. What treatment are the immunologists and you working on so that hopefully we can defend ourselves against this awful virus?
Well, Dr. Vadapalli and I have been working in the labs and observing the sick to see how the zombification has progressed throughout the three symptoms. We have graphically represented how each stage has progressed and how many days each one lasts. And we are also taking blood samples from sick people and comparing them to patients who are unsick and are normal and do not have the PLB squared virus. And we are using the sick patients and their blood samples to come up with a vaccine.
All right.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Yes.
My name's Dr. Vadapalli, and the CDC, an organization that fights viruses and diseases, put me as the scientist to help stop against this dangerous virus. As you can see, our research has gone far. We've finally made a model of it. As you can see, these orange parts represent the membrane that it uses to get into our own white blood cell membranes and attack us. These red things act as a second line of defense, second line of attack for these to get into our cells. If the membranes can't get in, but these things called glycoproteins will pierce through the membrane. Here, this is called the capsid layer. It's a sphere of molecules that's held inside the virus that holds the virus's RNA. RNA is a type of chemical that contains all the instructions to make more viruses, and it contains instructions to create viral weapons to kill our cells. The zombies are here. We may not be able to interview them, but I'll look at them. Would even be okay. First, we need to get their attention. The blood of the foot should help get its attention. Sound. Have you? No responses. This interview seems useless. It's better to just leave.
Wow, that's some shocking footage. We're back with Bethany Corum, one of the first survivors of this zombie virus. So Bethany, viewers want to know, how did you contract this virus?
Well, I was told that I contracted it when I was playing with my hamster, Howie. But at the time, I did not know that this little guy would cause a worldwide pandemic. I didn't wash my hands after, which turned out to be the biggest mistake of my life, because that's how it really got into me and got started.
Did you feel it coming, or were you scared at all?
I didn't really feel it coming besides the factors of a common cold. I started to get weak, I started to cough a bit, and I turned a little pale, so I stayed home from work a few days. And then I started to twitch, which was very unusual. It was not small twitches, it was very violent, very extreme twitches. I started to feel the loss of oxygen. I got very weak all the time. And Then I started coughing up blood. This is what I remember. I remember waking up in a pool of blood because I just have been continuously coughing. Of course I was scared. This is something very unusual and very scary for everyone, I'm sure, who has been affected.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be. So how in the world did you survive?
Well, I don't really have any memory of my path as being what they would call a zombie. I just know, all I know is what I've been told. I know that I wanted blood because of my white blood cell loss, which is a very disturbing fact of this virus. Also, to answer your question in a different way, my family is not with me anymore, and I don't know if I survived this virus in that sense because I'm not sure if I'm the cause of that disaster.
Well, sorry for your loss. Well, thank you for this insight, and thank you for being on our show, Bethany. That's all we have time for right now, but stay tuned for more updates on CNN.
After observing Bethany's progress, we made a graph to represent how PLB spread throughout the population and infecting 500,000 people. Here is the graph. However, the virus had spread more than the estimated population and infected the maximum of 650,000 and kept spreading rapidly. As you can see on the graph, on the 21st day of infection, the vaccine had been distributed to all the following patients representing the virus PLB2 or patients with a confirmed diagnosis of PLB2. After distributing the vaccine, the graph shows a logarithmic decrease, proving that the vaccine is working and the virus is being terminated in society.